I've always been like a doodler, like literally since I was young, and that's like, I don't know, since kindergarten or whatever. Like anything that I could draw, and I was always like scribbling on it or whatever. So pretty young, like not seriously at a young age, but I've always been like drawing. I think in high school, my high school art teacher, Miss Campbell, she kind of was the person who was like, you don't have to draw like picture perfect things to like be a good artist. Like you can draw like how you want and what you want. So I think like in high school I kind of like finally was like, you know what, like I could do this, like I could draw. Like it may not be like a person's face like perfectly or like flowers or whatever, but like I still could draw. I definitely draw and paint a lot more when I'm like going through stuff, for sure, or like when I need something to like take my mind off of something. I'm always working. Like that being said, like I would continue to paint and draw regardless. Like if no one bought a picture from me ever again, like I would still do it every single day. Honestly, it's just life. Like I do it to like cope almost. Not cope because life is not that bad, but you know, like in a way it just keeps me steady.
I understand.
So like anything really, the whole day makes me want to do something. I think it kind of depends on the mood of the day, but I also think you can kind of see like what I've been listening to while I'm painting, like in my paintings. Like if I'm listening to like Gunna and Little Baby and like vibey music, like my painting looks like that. Like it'll be like hot pink or like bright. Whereas like I usually always work with neon colors, but like if I'm listening to something that's like on the chiller, like I'm just having a bad day, like you'll see it. It'll be like cool blues or like all that stuff. I don't think that it's ever really been a negative, except for like when you're trying to like figure out if you're wanting to pursue like an art career, I guess, if that's what I would call it. You really have to like find the space of like confidence and like believing in like what you do and what you make, and like kind of have to forget about like, because when you put something out, like it's personal, like regardless if it's like a selfie or if it's like an actual painting or whatever, like it's something that you're putting out there for people to like look at and like consume and whatever. So especially when like painting and drawing is something that like is kind of like an emotional, not an emotional thing, but it is part of what I like, how I live. Like it's kind of, that's like the only negative you run into is like the fear of like, oh no, is someone gonna like this? But like at the same time, like fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
The positives is just that like it's cool to see that other people like what I do. Like even if I'm gonna do it no matter what, like it's cool to see people appreciate it, and it's brought me like into cool friendships. Like it's brought me into cool conversations. It's brought me into situations like this. So I really enjoy it. I don't know. Claude, who is a part of Seventh Views, we also are supposed to be working on something. There's another Connecticut brand, YUPNTWRK, which is from Bridgeport. Yeah, we are supposed to be collabing, and I would love to work with literally anybody who's interested. So. One cool person is definitely Jida on the track, or Jida. He's from Connecticut. He lives out in Cali now. I think he has a really cool style, and he does animation, which like is definitely something that I would wanna like try. Like I'm all about like
everything.
Like expanding my horizons. Like I want to learn how to do stuff. And then otherwise, I can't really think of anybody off of the top of my head, but if anyone's interested, I am interested. Oh, this is Dead by 5 a.m. This is Brent's.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, it looks Brent-ish.
Yes. Funny story with how this shirt was made is I walked into SBI at the time my boyfriend had been recording there a lot, and I walked in and I had just this on, the red thing with like sweats, and it was just plain red, and Brent was like, let me get that. He was working in the workroom at SBI, and I was like, okay, and then literally like I went back in and he was like,
wow,
spaz. That I'm not gonna love doing it anymore. That scares me. Like, that's what I'm saying, is it's such a staple like in my life. Like, I do it just because I love doing it, and if I ever got to the point where like I wasn't happy doing it anymore, I'd be really, really disappointed with myself, because that means I either like push myself to do things like that I just don't want to do, or like, I don't know.
And I feel you.
Yeah, it's falling out of love with the art for sure would be something that would scare me, but that's about it. Oh God. Honestly, if I could stay home and people were buying my paintings enough to like me just work out of my house and do that and just throw art shows all the frickin' time, I would do that. That would be
That's
amazing.
like ideal.
Literally,
That's
that
ideal.
sounds like a dream. Is that a job? I would like that job.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. I know everybody likes to like preach the like Connecticut come together, let's come together, and like it's a lot harder said than done, clearly, which is why like no one's really done it, but I think it's a little combination of both. I feel the support and I appreciate support from everybody who gives it to me, and I hope that I show love back to the people who show love to me.
Right.
And if I don't, speak up. I hope that there's no misconceptions about me. I feel like a lot of people think I might be like a little uptight, but I'm really not. I'm really
They
cute.
always think that.
I'm super goofy. I'm like a really big weirdo. I'm really down to earth. Like, I love meeting new people. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of girls on the internet, it's like just because of how sometimes we like present ourselves and stuff, people want to think like, oh, she's stuck up or whatever. And I think if you ask anybody who meets me, it's definitely not the case. And then it's just the same thing with female artists. I don't know. I wish there are a lot of girls who are putting themselves out there. But I want to see more. Like, I want to see more girls posting more actively. Like, I want to see that. That facade, like there are so many people, like young minds, young people who can't establish like the difference between like the fact that that's not actually real life,
right?
And that's like, oh, that's my biggest.
It's sad.
Yeah,
it really
makes
is sad.
people sad.
I know.
Like, it literally makes people sad, but whatever. I still use it every single day. I'm like personable, sociable. I don't know. I'm bubbly. Shit.
Well, we'll take that one.
One of those happy words.
Okay.
That everything's not as bad as it like seems. Cause I get into like a lot of, I think everybody nowadays like gets into that like funk of like, I'm not happy with like what I'm doing right now, or maybe I'm not as stimulated as I usually am, like I just need something more, and it's like life's not that bad, like just literally just go overboard with posting. Like post, talk to people, talk to other people who do what you do, like just don't be scared. I know it's scary sometimes, but just don't. Like, the more you do it, the number you get to like putting stuff out, to be honest, and just flood them. I think this is like a perfect example of like what I do. I work a lot with neons. I'm always painting like faces and stuff, but never complete faces. As you can see, it's usually just features. People usually like ask me like why I paint what I paint and stuff, and your eyes are like where you find the emotion on like people's faces, or where you can like read kind of what someone is thinking or feeling or whatever before they actually like say it to you. So that's what I usually do, is paint those. And I always work with bright colors because I think that kind of represents like how I am like as a person, like normally, like I'm super bubbly, super bright, super whatever. And then all my girls are always like tired or like going through some shit. As you know, we be tired and going through some shit. Hi, my name is Xndr and this is Exhibit B TV.